Coming up today on Houston Life, we have hit the road and headed east just about 3 hours to Lafayette, Louisiana. We are going to learn more about our neighbors to the east as we get hands-on with history at the Vermillionville Historic Village. Here you can experience firsthand the history of Louisiana's Acadian, Creole, and Native American cultures. We'll meet a tribal chief carrying on traditions from the past as well.
And of course, you can't come to Cajun country without trying the food. I'll take you along for a food tour that has us trying everything from gumbo to boudin.
All right, then we are headed to the water as Houston Life photojournalist Lenny Juarez hops aboard an airboat through one of America's greatest swamps. What will he find? Stick around to find out.
And Cajun, Creole, Zydeco, and swamp music. Can you tell the difference? We'll get a unique lesson in Louisiana sounds along with a live performance.
Live from Studio B and KPRC2, Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this very special edition of Houston Life. Today, we are not in Houston. We are in Lafayette, Louisiana, and we are so glad to have you with us. I'm Derrick Shore.
And I'm Mel Camp. It's awesome here. I love it.
Isn't it great? And as we've already established, it's just about 3 hours east of Houston. You jump on I-10, you sail right over. If you've never been, there is so much to check out, to see, and do here in Lafayette. And spoiler alert, there are some really fun surprises around every corner, right, Mel?
Oh my goodness, there really is. You know, it's so close to home, but it has culture and food and fun all of its own. And so I've loved it. It's magic.
Yes, and on a map, it's not exact, but it's pretty much right between Houston and New Orleans, so close by. So we couldn't possibly squeeze everything into one show. Today, Mel and I will do our best. And of course, we're going to share all the ways you can come experience it for yourself. We just saw some footage of Lenny's boat tour, his airboat tour he took.
Is it a spoiler alert if I say what he may or may not have seen?
Alligators. Yes, yes. He had a great time. He really had a great time. We're going to have more on that coming up. But also, Mel, I got up bright and early.
You did.
And my producer, Christy, and I, we went on down to the Tabasco factory at Avery Island. Guys, this was so much fun. So it's about a 30-minute drive from Lafayette, and you can learn how the McElhenney family has made Tabasco sauce on Avery Island for about 5 generations. So this is all built on a salt dome. You pay $15. You go in for a self-guided tour. You learn a little bit about the history and the mash right there, which is aged for up to 3 years, which is incredible. Wow. Then it's mixed with vinegar. And being able to see this process, Mel, I mean, they say that they bottle and ship out, they truck out hundreds of thousands of bottles of Tabasco sauce every single day. And this is sent to about 180 countries around the world. Photo ops around every corner. And Mel, I gotta tell you, the thing that I was not expecting, you park your car, you get outside, what does it smell like? Tabasco.
Oh, no way.
You can
Does it
smell
tingle
it in
your
the
eyes? Because you know when you're cooking chilies, it kind of tingles your eyes. Do you sneeze?
It wasn't so strong that it burned my eyes, but it's definitely present. And here I am inside the general store there at the end. There are all different flavors of Tabasco, including a raspberry chipotle Tabasco. Ooh. And you can sample as much as you want. There's even Tabasco ice cream. Anyway, okay, let's talk about your last night, because you came over yesterday.
I did, yeah. We trekked down yesterday. It was so fun, bit of a road trip, and got to have a bit of an adventure, taste some food, and go dancing. Look at this. I'm not so bad not so good at dancing, actually. I was going to say I'm not bad, but I'm not so good. But yeah, that was at the Blue Moon Saloon. They have a Cajun jam every Wednesday night. It was led by accordion player and all the musicians, and then people would just tap you on the shoulder and dance. It's really good fun. I actually did learn like a few dancers. I did my best anyway, but those guys danced way better. They were the best dancers.
Okay,
Yeah.
that looks like a blast. I've seen you dance before. Your dancing skills are pretty good.
Thank you.
I bet, and Mel Camp makes friends everywhere she goes. Okay, that looks like a great time. And on a school night, I'm extra impressed on a Wednesday night. Well, you look fresh and clean this morning,
fresh as
right?
daisy.
Well, the culture in Lafayette today is a result of early settlers from France, Spain, Africa, Canada, and of course the Native Americans who originally called this area home.
And you know what? The town, it was founded 200 years ago. And over that time, the customs and the traditions of the early groups has melded into a really vibrant, one-of-a-kind culture. And that just influences everything, you know, from the language, the dialects, the food, and also the music.
There are so many interesting cultural layers. We're going to try to unpack them with Brady McKellar. He's managing director of the Bayou Vermilion District. He is joining us now with more on the history of Lafayette. Brady, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Hi, yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and thanks for coming to Acadiana.
Well,
Oh gosh, I love it.
we love being here. Not only is everyone so nice, but I love learning more about this region that is just so close to home for us at Houston. As
Yeah.
we've mentioned, it's just a short drive away. One of the most surprising things for me is that Lafayette wasn't originally called Lafayette.
No, it actually has gone through a couple of different names. One of the first being Petit Manchac, which was the name of a small fort over on the bayou. But then it eventually became Vermillionville, which is the name of where we are located today, so named because of its proximity along the banks of the Bayou Vermilion. And but over time, they wanted for a very long time to name it after the Marquis de Lafayette, but they couldn't, because just west of the New Orleans area was a city named Lafayette, but over time, of course, New Orleans grew and grew, and then it absorbed that city, and then the name Lafayette became available, and so people just jumped right on it.
Wow, that is so cool. There's a way you say Lafayette. It's like, it's like, because I feel like I'm saying Lafayette, but you can sort of roll it like
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
Lafayette?
Oh, I don't think I can say it like you said.
Well, it's
like
really,
local.
it's interesting, and it's kind of an interesting dialectic point, is that the people here, you know, the Marquis' name was Lafayette, but the people here, we usually refer to the city as Lafayette. And so, again, it sort of goes back to how you were just talking about those transitions and changes in dialect and language. It affects the name and how we all say it.
The Lafayette Parish Bicentennial is
Yes.
coming up, and this is a big celebration, Brady. Middle of October is when it happens.
Well, actually, the Bicentennial has been going on all year long. And that organization, they've got a great website. It's Lafayette1823.org. And not only do they have a great listing of events that they've been doing, like we've got an upcoming local palooza, which is going to be a huge event to celebrate all different kinds of music and food in the community. We've also got festivals like Acadian, Creole is coming up in October. But they've also got a really, really great resource for original recordings, both video, old school audio, that really gets back to some of the people that have been major players and contributors in the community for years and years and years.
Oh my gosh, that's just so amazing, because that really is something I just absolutely love about it here, is it is such a rich history. It's so close to Houston, and I feel like I'm in a whole nother world.
Well, in a lot of ways, you really are. And you know, you sort of touched on it before me, but it really does come down to the fact that there are so many different culture groups, all who brought their own stories and traditions and food and rhythms, and they all sort of landed here, sometimes easily, sometimes with conflict, but each of them contributed something that was very significant to them. And all of those things, and it's such an overused metaphor, but all of those things boiled and all of those flavors came together in that we do have an incredibly unique and vibrant gumbo of culture right here in Acadiana.
I have heard that saying already being here. That is amazing.
It's the
Yeah.
perfect way to
Perfect.
describe it. Brady, we're tight on time. One of the things I love about visiting is everyone has a story about, oh, my grandparents spoke French, but this set of grandparents spoke
sure.
English, and the music, it really is such a blend. And one thing we'll explore later is how the early Native Americans here, how they really had such an influence on how we experience Lafayette today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, everything from food to the names of our bodies of waters and locations, and a lot of language comes from there.
All right, Brady McKellar, we got to leave it right there, but we still have A lot to come. You can learn more about the Bicentennial Festival and the events at LafayetteTravel.com. Brady, thank you once again. Very, very interesting. Coming up next, we are taking a step back in time. I'm heading into the park to meet a local tribal chief to see how he's carrying on an important tradition of Native Americans of Louisiana.
And I will connect with the culture through food, and I'm checking out a tour that lets you experience all of the Cajun dishes that are delicious. They're all in one trip. Houston Life will be right back.
Welcome back to this very special edition of Houston Life from Lafayette, Louisiana. So right now I am standing at Vermillionville Historic Village. It's a living history museum and folk life park. So this is where you can come and get a firsthand look at some of the earliest settlers here in this region, including how they lived, how they worked. I'm going to take you inside the Cajun house here to introduce you to a very interesting person. This is Chief John Sitting Bear Mayu, and he is part of one of the oldest Native American tribes in this region. Chief, can I join you here?
Sure.
On the porch?
Absolutely.
This is a lovely place to visit, and your tribe has been in this region, you just told me, for 12 to 15,000 years? Mm-hmm. That is incredible.
We're one of the oldest Louisiana tribes still in existence.
And Chief, part of your role here is to interact with visitors who come from all over the world, tell stories, and really keep your history alive.
Exactly. And when the school children come on a tour, they're not really interested too much in history. So I tell them Indian stories. For example, one of the stories I love to tell them is how the skunk got his stripe. And they love that.
Okay. How did the skunk get his stripe?
You have to come for a second visit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't tell them the first visit.
So tell me a little bit about your life growing up, because I understand you didn't speak English at all as a child, but you did speak 4 different languages.
Mm-hmm. We spoke, in the family, we spoke 4 languages. We spoke French because of the neighbors. We spoke a little bit of Spanish because we still had friends in Texas we visited from time to time. We spoke the tribal language, and we spoke the trade language, which was not English. About 6,000 years ago, all the tribes in the southeastern United States got together and invented a trade language. That way, if you wanted to visit, let's say, the Seminole down in Florida, you didn't need to learn to speak their language because you had the trade language in common. You could understand each other. And the trade language still exists today. You can find books on it on the internet. It's called Mobilian jargon. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why they call it Mobilian, because there was never a Mobile tribe. There was once a tribe called the Muleville, which the French started pronouncing as Mobile.
My goodness, isn't it interesting how languages evolve, right? Because even the name of your tribe has a G in it that the French sort of changed to a Y. Not sort of changed to a Y, they did change to a Y.
That's right. In fact, our main village was located in what is today Avoyelles Parish. And that's why that name was, because that's how the French wrote it, Avoyelles. In fact, we had another word in our language, the word bogue in our language became bayou. Wow. And that's where the word bayou in Louisiana comes from.
But it was originally bogue.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've only spent a few minutes together. Already, I've learned a number of new things from you, Chief. In addition to preserving the history, the incredible history of your tribe, one of the things that you do here is to really inform visitors about how the early settlers, including your tribe, how they contributed to the multi-layered culture here in Louisiana, in Lafayette.
The reason I work here is not because of the pay that we get. It's because it gives me an opportunity to let people know what contributions our people made to the culture that exists in Louisiana today. And outside of a museum setting, that doesn't exist. And even in the education process in Louisiana today, they don't spend very much time, in fact practically no time, on Indian tribes in Louisiana. They spend actually more time on the Plains Indians and the Aztec than they do on Louisiana tribes. So it's an opportunity to tell people what contributions we made.
Absolutely. Listen, we're just about out of time, but when visitors come here, they can not only visit with you and hear fascinating stories, but there are also very carefully preserved structures around this property and some really interesting crafts, some trades, essentially.
Exactly, and we have other interpreters that do like music with either the accordion or the fiddle. We have others that do spinning to show how they would take cotton and make thread with it, and then from there make cloth in the old days. This village represents a time period of between 1765 and 1890.
My goodness. Well, it is well worth a visit. Chief John Sitting Bear Mailloux, it is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for sharing your lovely porch with me. By the way, the website is BayouVermillionDistrict.org if you would like to visit this park and living history museum. It really is going to be worth your time. Thanks once again.
You're welcome.
That was very interesting. All right, still ahead on Houston Life. We are experiencing living history here at the museum, but just a few miles away, it is all about the ghost. We go inside Parish Brewing to learn how their popular ghost in their machine double IPA is made, plus what is on tap for beer lovers this fall. And we'll get up close and personal with the wildlife in America's largest swamp. You do not want to miss that. That's when the special edition of Houston Life from Lafayette, Louisiana returns. Don't go away. From those guys later today.
Oh, so good. Welcome back to Houston Life. You know what? I think we should call it Cajun Life today.
I think that is very appropriate. We are in Lafayette, Louisiana, the heart of Cajun and Creole country. We've been immersed in the history, culture, and of course, the lovely hospitality here. But we also have to chat about something very important, Mel Camp, the beer.
Yes, the beer is very, very important. You know, just a few miles away from here is a very popular craft brewery. You probably know of it, Parish Brewing. They're well known for their Ghost in the Machine brew, and they have a whole lot of other beer to offer. I met up with owner Andrew Godley. It was really cool. I got to find out more about Parish, and I even got a tip about a brand new beer that is coming very soon. We are here at Parish, and cheers to that. Andrew Godley, this is a great day indeed. I'm just going to have a sip. I can't cheers without sipping. You sip. This is where the magic happens, right? It is a beautiful place.
Yeah, this is our brewery here in South Central Louisiana. We're about 3 hours east of Houston, and we sell beer all over the Gulf South, overseas. All of it's made right here.
And it's, I mean, look, let's just take a little walk around here, because this is a lot of beer is being brewed in here. What are we seeing? Like, what is going on in these?
So these are all
towers of deliciousness.
These are all fermenters making beers like Ghost in the Machine, which you can buy all over Houston.
Yeah, a lot of people like that beer.
Other favorites like Canebrake, and even special release beers that we're gonna come release that haven't even been tried yet by people. All of it just being fermented and naturally produced, and our talented staff is going to add whatever ingredients are needed. We got our brew house working behind us, finishing up the day.
This is so fantastic. I mean, you've been going for 13 years now, Andrew. How did you get into this, and what was it like at the very beginning? Because you guys make very good beers.
Thanks. Yeah, it was just me when I first started it. We have 35 employees now. We're not the biggest brewery in the world, but we're one of the largest in the South. You know, in Texas, we would be one of the fifth or sixth largest brewery, but we're super proud of what we do. Well,
you know what? One of the beers that I think a lot of people know is Ghost in the Machine, and I've got a treat for you. Come on over, let's go take a look. Okay, there's many Houston Houstonians that know and love this beer, but Ghost in the Machine is loved all over the world, isn't it, Andrew?
That's right, yeah, even in Australia.
Even in Australia. And also Beijing. Just recently, a couple of months ago, you had lines down the street. People wanted to buy this beer.
Yep, it's a well-known product that we're very fortunate to have as part of our portfolio, and yeah, people in not just in Houston love it, but all over the South. I mean, it's on tap in Disney, representing America and Epcot. So it's a great product for us.
How does that feel for you? I mean, you said obviously you have a passion for beer, but then you've made it into something really so very big. A lot of people love your beers.
We just try hard. It's one foot in front of the other every day, and we just try and make the best product that we can. And the people buy this from us, and we have no choice but to make more of it because it sells out all the time.
Now, Brewfest, you guys are involved with that.
Yep.
And it's a whole lot of fun. I want to go try some beers and have a chat. So can we head over to your tap room?
Definitely, that's what we do. Cheers.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Cheers. Cheers. All right, we are here in the tap room. I'm just going to take a sip. This is really delicious. Andrew, I love it. This is the first beer that you guys ever brewed here at Parish.
That's right, yeah, that's Canebrake, best-selling beer in Louisiana for us. Very popular.
I can see why it's the best-selling beer. I really like it. Really nice, delicious, tasty wheat beer.
Well, while you guys talk, I'm going to go get another beer for you to try.
I will not say no to that. Okay, now Corinne, Golf Brew is happening October 21.
That's correct.
And this is a really great local beer festival that a lot of people come to. Let's talk about it.
Sure. So October 21 in Lafayette, Louisiana, we transformed downtown to a street-style festival filled with beer, crafts, music, entertainment, you name it, it's there. We even have a tortoise this year that will be on site. It is South Louisiana's longest running craft beer festival. This is our 15th year.
Wow.
It is Acadian Center for the Arts' largest fundraiser. So all proceeds go towards Acadian Center for the Arts, which is a great, beer and art go so well together.
I agree with that. I mean, and of course it's a great opportunity to taste a lot of the local beers. People come in from everywhere. Parish is definitely going to be there, correct?
Yep, definitely. We'll have at least 12 or so beers, maybe more special stuff that we don't sell in stores. So it's a big deal for us to, bring out the big guns for all the beer aficionados to sample and taste.
Okay, what are we tasting? Is this something we'll be able to taste at Golf Brew?
Oh yeah, so this is Pinot Noir Sips, Pinot Noir and Blackcurrant Sips. So it's kind of a fruit wine hybrid beer. Super, super rich, super saturated with fruits, easy drinking.
Oh my gosh, that's really, really yummy. Yeah, I thought it was going to be way sweeter. You described it as a beer smoothie before, and I was like, oh, this is so yummy. Probably dangerous, right?
Yeah, it's dangerous just like a wine. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as high ABV, but it's crushable, and especially in Louisiana and Texas heat, we drink a lot of this.
Okay, well, I would definitely say at Golf Brew, you probably want to try this one for sure. How many breweries have you got coming on board to be part of the festival, Corinne?
So we have over 200 individual samples of beer that are available for the ticket buyer. And then we'll have about 15 to 18 breweries on site, like Parish. They'll come, they'll do special untappings, they'll do special tastings, and really that's who draws the crowd. It's the Parish Brewing, it's the local breweries, both from Lafayette, from Louisiana, as well as the Gulf Coast.
Oh my gosh, well, I think that is just, there's so many reasons to come here to Lafayette because I've just had an absolute ball so far, and that is just another reason. Andrew, I think I want to hang around a little longer and I want to get a little bit more of an early taste of Golf Brew. Have you got another one we can taste?
I think we've got a few.
Okay, all right, I'm going to send you off. Get us some more. Corinne, you going to stick around for that?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you can just leave us here. We're going to keep drinking and cheers.
Okay, that looks like fun.
Oh my gosh, I had the best time. Parish is just one of many breweries that you can go check out at Golf Brew Festival. If you want to get tickets, then just go to acadiacenterforthearts.org. Jump online, you can get tickets there.
Okay, very, very nice, Mel.
Yeah.
Looks like a very good time.
Oh, I've had a blast. I have tried so many awesome things. And you know what? I tried the drinks and bring on the food next. Stand by, from gumbo to oysters and alligator. we're going to check out a tour that's a way you can eat your way through Cajun country.
Okay, not bad. Plus, have you tried boudin? Did you know it has its own festival? It is true. We're going to learn all about the Cajun specialty when Houston Life returns. Don't go away. Welcome back to this very special edition of Houston Life from Lafayette. I'm Derrick Shore.
And I'm Mel Camp, and we're spending the day in Lafayette, Louisiana. It is awesome. I have been exploring all over the place. Did some beer. After that, I went and had a really nice Cajun dinner at Prejean's.
At Prejean's, yes. I've seen the billboard. So how was it?
Oh, definitely worth going and eating. I mean, all the Cajun food is good.
So what did you eat? Tell
all
me.
right. So we had gumbo, of course. But you know what was really exciting? I had alligator bites.
Oh, how was that? Tastes like chicken, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. You know what? No. It
Oh,
tastes
yeah?
like chicken crossed with octopus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like. But oysters are a big thing here, catfish. You can do it all. So delicious.
Okay, so I love, Mel, that you hit the ground running. You essentially ate your way through town.
Yeah, I did. And drunk, I'll throw that, and danced. You know, that's you can do all of that. And you know what? I went on a really awesome Cajun food tour. It's really fantastic. And I found out that I've been eating gumbo wrong all this time. Here's how it went. Cajun Food Tours is a delicious way to explore Lafayette. Guided by foodie Marie Ducote.
They typically last about 3 to 3.5 hours, and we'll go to 5 different places. And of course, the word Cajun comes from Acadie, from the Acadian people who call themselves Acadian, and those make up a great number of our ancestors in this area.
The Acadians found their way to Lafayette from Canada, and the language they spoke.
It's French, so it says allons manger, and allons manger means let's go eat.
Allons manger!
And that's what we did.
Quant au hasard de mes balades, je me retrouve à Lafayette.
Today's Cajun food is really a blend of not only things that the Acadians had influence over, but also all these other groups that came in, you know, starting with the Native Americans that were already here and taught us so much about how to live off the land here, and then the Spanish coming in and the Africans coming in.
First stop, Tons.
Hi, welcome to Tons!
We were here for the gumbo and a lesson on how to eat it right.
Lafayette and surrounding parishes, you're always going to eat potato salad with your gumbo. So you might want to take a little spoon of that and dip it in the gumbo juice.
Okay.
So that you can taste the potato salad covered in gumbo juice.
Like that?
Yeah, try that. Tell me what you think.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And personally, I like a little more juice ratio to like a smaller bite of potato salad and a bigger bite of juice.
I can see that.
Yeah, you can see that. There you go. Now that's the one. That's the one. See that.
Okay, that was delicious. And next up, Sammy, where are we off to next?
I have no idea, but I'm hungry and I'm ready to eat some more.
The Magical Food Mystery Tour. Woohoo!
Oh, I like that.
So everyone agreed the gumbo at Tons was good.
Oh yeah. So why do you think it's hard to get such a good gumbo?
Oh, because everybody likes it the way their mama made it.
Another food you get to try on Cajun food tours is boudin, which just like gumbo can taste very different depending on where you get it. We went to Nunu's Meat Market.
This is the boudin that I want everybody to try. If you have not tried boudin, make sure you try that. A meat market that makes boudin, they've got their own recipe. Every meat market keeps boudin hot in the deli from the minute they open in the morning to the minute they close at night. It's like Cajun fast food. Let me tell you this, boudin is loose in the casing. Don't feel like you have to eat the casing. You can squeeze it out of the casing like Go-Gurt if you want. Yeah, now squeeze it out and just pull it out and try it.
Delicious. Oh, wow. What's the verdict?
So good. It's so hard to lose weight around here.
We also sampled boudin balls, chicken crackling, and
Jean's cane syrup sausage. So it looks like it might be burning or like a little burnt, but that's the sugar caramelizing on the outside.
What's your favorite so far on the tour?
Everything. Whatever's next. That's my favorite part. Whatever's next.
next was char-grilled oysters and alligator.
This is a day of firsts.
For the record, it does not taste like chicken. Well, maybe chicken crossed with octopus. Before starting her food tours, Marie worked as a history teacher. Her Cajun food tours are a rich mix of stories explaining not just the food, but the language and cultures that have shaped this magic part of Louisiana.
You know, you can't eat the food without talking about the people who settled this area and make it what it is. This beautiful cultural gumbo that we have, they all have a profound effect on one another. They all flavor each other. This doesn't exist anywhere else.
Oh, I mean, that was so delicious. And you know, one of my favorite bites on the tour was boudin.
Of course.
Yes, and you know what? Boudin is one of the best places to try it. And it's a specialty of the area. It has a huge following. There's even a cook-off that you can go and try all the different kinds, which is what you want to do because festival brainchild, Dr. Bob.
Oh my God. Yeah. You call me brainchild. This is fantastic.
Bob Carricker, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Do you love that?
Yeah, I do.
But you are, you're the brainchild of the cook-off.
Of all the things I've ever been called, that's the best.
You're not going to get over it. I've got to say, after trying boudin yesterday, I learned there's so many different recipes, so actually you do want to go to a cook-off.
Right, no, you definitely want to. And you know, you've been doing all sorts of great things. There's music, right? There's culture, there's art, there's dancing, there's tours, but truly, if for no other reason, boudin alone is reason to come over and spend time here because it's so fantastic and so sort of culturally and regionally defining.
Bob, there are a lot of fans of boudin. You are perhaps the #1 fan because you created this cook-off. This year in October will be its 16th year. You're a professor of history at UL Lafayette.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And competitors come from all over the place to compete in the boudin cook-off.
They do.
Including some from Texas. How do they do?
They do. So that's really the beauty of this event, and that is, at your best, you want to go around sampling boudin from every place, because as you mentioned, every recipe is different. Even though the base ingredients are always the same, every recipe is different. So you come to a cook-off, and everybody gets to put that basic recipe down, but they're all performed, you know, put together a little bit differently. And so we this year have 3 teams from Texas who come over to celebrate boudin with us, to celebrate all that you're here celebrating. And over the last 2 years, we've had those Texas teams have taken 1st and 2nd place.
That was hard for you to say, wasn't it?
Well, it's not hard for me to say. It's just that every time I say it, I know that I'm going to be accosted by people on the streets who are reminded of it.
Independent panel of judges. It is a blind tasting, so it is a totally fair competition. Hey, before we let you go, we got to talk about what this is. And for people who don't know what boudin is, can you break it down?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is pork, rice, and seasonings into a casing, but you eat it differently than you do regular sausage. You eat it out of the casing. You don't typically eat it with the casing. And it has become an ingredient that has a tremendous creative potential to it. And so places are starting to use the filling, use that boudin filling in all sorts of restaurant dishes, and maybe at their best, making a sphere out of it, a boudin ball, and hopefully, ideally, stuffing it with cream cheese and jalapenos. So this item has just great appeal across the board for everyone.
Look at that.
It's like, I can smell it now. My mouth is drooling. This is going to be amazing. I mean, October 21 is the festival.
October the 21st, it's downtown Lafayette.
I'll say that.
It's even better than just boudin, though, because it's also the same day as our Gulf Brew Festival. And so when you can truly combine the very best beer and the very best boudin together, I mean, you know, why go anywhere else?
Why go anywhere else? Okay, so mark your calendars. Dr. Bob Carricker, thank you so much, Mel Camp.
Thank
Happy
you.
place?
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Mel could be one of your judges.
If you'd like to be a judge,
Wanna be a judge?
absolutely. We'll make it happen.
All right,
I wanna
Bob,
be
thanks
there.
again.
Oh my gosh, yes please. Yum.
Still to come on this very special edition of Houston Life from Lafayette, a guitar is the lead in much of American music, but in Louisiana, the accordion, of course, is king. We're going to get a lesson in Louisiana styles of music, plus we'll have a little jam session.
And next, sorry Mum, I'm going to talk with my mouth full. We are getting wild. Houston's Lenny Juarez jumped on an airboat to see what he could find in the Louisiana swamp.
Plus, if you'd like to experience this all for yourself, we are giving away a great prize. You could win a 3-day, 2-night getaway to Lafayette, Louisiana, including a 2-night hotel stay and Cajun Country VIP pass for access to local attractions. Go to LafayetteTravel.com if you'd like to enter, and good luck. We'll be right back.
United States is home to many swampland territories, but the Atchafalaya River in Louisiana is recognized as the largest river swamp in the entire country. It covers a big portion of the local region, and Captain Armand Berard of McGee's Louisiana Swamp and Airboat Tours took us out on the murky waters for an exclusive tour to check it out.
We interact with the wildlife here and stuff, so we do a lot of high-trek adventures and learn all about the wilderness and the Atchafalaya Basin and all what it has to offer. Come on, you hungry? We got some guests, come on. Come on, Marie, come on. Sinana, Boudreaux, come on, Boudreaux. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Come on. Show me teeth. Show me teeth. Good girl.
And just how long has he been exploring these marshy wetlands?
Boat tours, I've been doing boat tours for a little over 3 years, but I've been running the airboat since '91. So I've got many, many hours sitting on the captain's seat. Show me teeth. Come on. Show me teeth. Show me teeth. Come on. Good one. Cool. You got a new scar, huh? You been fighting?
Like many from the area, he holds deep ties to the river from childhood to now.
As a youngster, I started out here making a living out here in the Atchafalaya Basin. Did a lot of crawfishing. Over 10 million pounds of crawfish come out the Atchafalaya Basin each year. Many families lived out here and made a living out here. But when they built the levee back in the 1920s, these poor families were pushed out of the Atchafalaya Basin to make this the largest floodplain in North America. It's a unique area. There's many, many different types of wildlife, fish. It's a great recreational area. It's just an all fun area to be in.
And what can you expect to see on one of these swamp tours?
Well, on one of these tours, we may see the ibis. We may see the Rosetta spoonbill. You may see an Asian carp jump on the boat. You may see a deer running on shore.
But that's not all.
Kind of spooky back here, guys.
You just might even witness a sighting of a legendary creature rumored to live deep within the swamp.
You might even get a glimpse to Rougarou running on the bank. Every now and then, you know, we see something on the bank that's unexplainable. There's so many different types of wildlife we may encounter here. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. Show the cameraman your big jug. Show me too. Smile for him. Smile for him.
Okay, talk about a front row seat. That looks so interesting. It's so beautiful. The tour really is a must-do. To book your own tour, you can visit mcgeesSwampTours.com. When we come back, you can already hear the sounds. It is time for a jam session. Two of the best teach us the nuances of Cajun, Zydeco, and swamp pop music. That is when Houston Life returns. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this very special edition of Houston Life, coming to you live from Lafayette, Louisiana. So Louisiana is considered the birthplace of several vibrant types of music. You got swamp pop music, you have Zydeco, Cajun, Creole. The list goes on and on. It's an interesting blend, and we have called in expert help to learn more. We have Corey Leday and Roddy Romero. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, and Corey, I love meeting a fellow Houstonian because you were born and raised in Houston.
Yeah, Mo City, what they call Mo City, Missouri City.
And you grew up playing Zydeco music. Why did you fall in love with this type?
It ran in my family. My father plays Zydeco music, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, all my cousins, the Poches, they were jazz musicians, and just ran in the family.
We love that. And Roddy, music also runs in your family, right? Your grandfather sort of taught you accordion?
Yes, a little bit. Well, I was exposed to the music as a young age, a young child. My grandfather played a little bit of songs on the French accordion, as we call it around here. And I just fell in love with it, the earliest memories of anything.
And fast forward today, you are Grammy nominated. That is incredible.
Corey as well.
You're Grammy nominated as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. Just a couple Grammy nominations.
No worries.
It's a rich place musically here in Lafayette.
It is, it is. And the music here, generationally, I know it has sort of evolved, but I think what is so cool about you two is that you are keeping the history and the traditions alive. Can you play us just a sample of Zydeco?
Zydeco? Let's see.
Why don't we start with that?
Josephine.
Josephine?
Yeah.
Let's go to F.
I love it. It's so good. Okay, you guys, and you don't normally play together, so they're just sort of doing this as we go. The Cajun music is known for telling a story. Can you give us an example of that?
Well, we can tell a musical story this morning.
Sure.
The beats are different, the rhythms are a little bit different. We're talking in 3/4 time signature. So, do you want to play a little waltz or something?
Yeah. Let's go to G.
There is something so nostalgic about that sound. We are going to hear a little bit more of your talents here, but Creole music and also swamp pop music.
Yeah.
These are styles of music that a lot of folks in Houston, maybe their grandparents grew up with it, but they are maybe less familiar. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, definitely a generational thing. With swamp pop music, it began in the 1950s. And the actual term swamp pop was coined by an English disc jockey that was playing recordings from Louisiana from the swamp, and thought it was popular music from the swamp, so he called it swamp pop.
Wow, and that's an example would be like Fats Domino blues, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Roddy Romero, Corey Lede, you guys are so talented. Will you play us to break? We want to hear a little bit.
Yeah, let's do a little swamp pop B flat.
Let's go for it. Okay. Swamp pop to break. All right, in our final moments from Lafayette, if you want to plan a trip for yourself, LafayetteTravel.com is the website where you can find all the information. Again, it's just a short drive, 3 hours east of Houston, Mel
Oh my
Camp.
gosh, I've had an absolute ball. I don't know if I want to come home, but we will see you back in Houston.
We will, eventually. But in the meantime, we are back with Corey Lede and Roddy Romero. You guys are playing at a really cool party called Downtown Alive, September 29th. This is a free festival. Everyone's invited.
That's right. It's been going on for about 40 years. It's their anniversary year this year, and my band, the Hub City All-Stars, are hosting. many artists, many beautiful artists, beautiful human beings such as Corey Leday and Sonny Landreth and Michael Doucet and on and on and on. It's going to be a celebration.
Okay.
Well, can we get some music now? Bit of a
love
sneak
it.
peek. Let's
Corey
do
Leday,
it.
Roddy
Take us
Romero,
out.
play us out, end the show. Thank you guys for joining us from Lafayette.